Has to hit the target.
Make it heavy low kick, see what happens. You see, no with kick with the shin. Little straighter.
So glad I'm not holding that.
What have I?
I'm going to try to.
Alex Pereira and Bas Rutten are two fighters known for their striking prowess, and the pair recently competed to see who had the most powerful leg kick. Powhatan and El Guapo were both in attendance at this weekend's Karate Combat 37 event. Bas Rutten, as well as the new UFC middleweight champion, were invited to test the power of their kicks on a device called the Power Cube. Several attempts were needed for both men to get adjusted to hitting the pad sensor correctly, but once they found their mark, Powhatan and Rutten delivered incredibly powerful kicks. Pereira broke the standing record with a total of 90,987, and Rutten was not far behind with an amazing score of 88,388. Alex Pereira is revered mostly for his devastating left hook, but it appears that absorbing a leg kick from Powhatan could be equally damaging. Conor McGregor eyes move to middleweight in future. Conor McGregor has set his sights on a potential move to the middleweight division, according to a recent tweet. During a recent Twitter spree, Conor McGregor conceived a desire to compete in the middleweight division. Considering the muscle mass he's put on, the Notorious is confident that a move to 185 pound is inevitable. "I'm gonna give middleweight a go at some point 100%, McGregor said. McGregor went on to share some sparring footage from his training camp for the Cowboy fight at UFC 246. The Irishman claimed that he was sparring with middleweight and light heavyweight contenders in preparation for the fight and that he's way bigger than he was back in January 2020. Nate Diaz responds to Conor McGregor's power slap Lee callout. Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz have again engaged in a Twitter spat, this time stemming from the Irishman's callout to the Stockton native for a slap fight. The Dubliner recently proposed a title clash with Diaz under the banner of Dana White's power slap Lee. Diaz responded by posting the clip from their first fight, where he landed the famous Stockton slap flush on McGregor's face. Claiming to have already beaten the Notorious at slap fighting, Diaz wrote, "I already beat you at that game too." Take a look at the clip.
You know me?
Having initiated the slap fight challenge, McGregor hit back, saying that he gave Diaz concussions with real strikes. "Got you back with concussions, real smacks." Jamahal Hill reveals all the high-level fighters helping him for his title fight against Glover Teixeira. Jamahal Hill has recruited several key training partners to prepare for his light heavyweight title shot at UFC 283. Dana White decided to take the division in another direction by announcing another title fight. In January, Glover Teixeira and Sweet Dreams will fight at UFC 283 for the still vacant title. During an interview with Michael Bisping and Anthony Smith, Hill had this to say about preparing for the short notice opportunity.
Other people reaching out to just to get a different element into the camp, you know. Yeah.
Who you all reach out to?
I reached out to Brunson actually reached out to me, so he said he was willing to come out and work on some single legs.
That's a good one. That's a good training partner. Yeah.
Bilal. I talked to Aljo. So I'm gonna have some talks with Aljo as well, and the main thing was making sure we had time for my head instructor, my head jiu-jitsu instructor, to be able to come up and have more time you know, here because he lives in Indiana. Where our headquarters gym is based out of Indiana, and so yeah, just get more time in with him and get him in. We're on point.
Hill was preparing for a fight against Anthony Smith in March before getting the call to fight Teixeira. The short notice opportunity provides both light heavyweights 5 weeks to prepare for the UFC 283 main event. Glover Teixeira aims to break UFC record before he calls it quits. Former UFC light heavyweight champion Glover Teixeira wants to get his belt back and hold onto it long enough to break a UFC record. Despite being 43 years old, Teixeira doesn't plan on slowing down in his pursuit of another stint as the 205 pounds champion. If he returns to the light heavyweight throne, he wants to make history in the process. During an interview with MMA Junkie, Teixeira revealed the record he wants to break before he hangs up the gloves.
You know, I want to keep doing. I want to do it again. I want to make history now. Now it's time to make history. Do what I can. 43 years old. I feel amazing. I feel great, and I just want to keep doing. You know? I have maybe breaking Randy Couture's record.
Yeah, for the oldest champion in UFC history.
Yeah, I don't like that guy. He's the only one ahead of me.
UFC Hall of Famer Randy Couture is the oldest fighter in UFC history to hold a belt at 45 years and 60 days old. He also holds other records, with 13 championship fights and the oldest to win a bout of any kind. If Teixeira's win over Blachowicz and near victory against Prohaska is any indication, he remains focused on adding a few more accolades before leaving the fight game. John McCarthy warns everyone underestimating Henry Cejudo's chances against Aljamain Sterling. John McCarthy is a strong believer in Henry Cejudo's abilities as a fighter, especially considering he will be coming off a 3-year layoff in 2023. During episode number 318 of Weighing In, McCarthy told his co-host, Josh Thompson, that the former 2-division UFC champion is being underestimated as he prepares for his comeback to the octagon. The former mixed martial arts referee warned everyone who is underestimating Cejudo's chances against UFC bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling.
You guys are making a huge mistake. This is a guy that knows exactly who he is, what he needs to do, and where he needs to be, and he will get there because he's done it his entire life at the highest level. Don't look at, oh, he's heavy.
Thompson chimed in and evaluated the matchup between Sterling and Triple C. He mentioned that his only concern with the matchup is how the layoff can affect the former champion.
My concern is the long layoff, which kind of bothers me a little bit because he's going to lose that fight pace timing. But Aljo also doesn't fight at an extremely fast pace. He does in that first round. He's got a lot of movement and stuff, but he's going to have to be very careful.
Michael Chiesa reveals who he thinks Paddy Pimblett will face next. Number 13 ranked UFC welterweight Michael Chiesa has dismissed the notion of Paddy Pimblett fighting a top 15 lightweight next. On a recent edition of UFC Live, the panel discussed what's next for Paddy Pimblett. At UFC 282, the baddie picked up a unanimous decision victory over Jared Gordon. The fight was fraught with controversy, with many believing Gordon had done enough to win. Michael Chiesa, meanwhile, sees little to no chance of Pimblett fighting a top 15 lightweight in the near future. Chiesa also revealed who he thinks the baddie faces next.
I don't think Paddy fights a top 15 opponent next. I'm gonna put it in the universe right now. Paddy Pimblett's next fight is gonna be Terrence McKinney. So Terrence McKinney wins in Rio, so that's gonna be his next fight.
Well, that would be a fantastic fight. I don't think that he does. I think that Paddy's got he's got some holes he's got to shore up. He's got some things he's got to fix. You can't be worried about fixing things in your game and fighting the guys that are in the top 15.
Paddy Pimblett has had 4 fights in the octagon now. He won his first 3 via finish with 1 knockout and 2 submissions. A slight step up in competition at UFC 282 gave him notable issues. The rising star's next step in the UFC remains to be seen. Who should Paddy fight next? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for today's video. If you want to know the latest UFC news, subscribe to the channel. hit the notifications bell and click the like button so you don't miss any details about the upcoming fights. Thanks for watching. See you soon.